Welcome to Hangs with Heather. This is a special tech edition of Hangs with Heather with the theme Under the CTC. And today I have with me Jerry, our technical director, Alicia, our program administrator, who helps me so much in outreach, but also happens to be a talented fiber artist, so much so that when I saw her work, I asked her to design the set of our touring production of Storytime Theater on the Trail of Daniel Boone. And we also have Lindsay, our resident costume designer. And I know that you guys have been working on some tech projects that I can do at home with my family with the theme under the sea, or under the CTC. So I'm really excited to see what you have to show me today. Jerry, what do you have?
Well, I've created a little underwater environment using a sheet, and I attached it to just a couple of chairs on the corners and tucked the bottom part of the sheet under the legs and kind of stretched it tight. So okay. This is just fabric right here. This is our sheet. I cut some boxes with some organic shapes, and on the front of them I spray painted it just with some bright colors, and it's kind of coral and seaweed is kind of what I was going for. I put a light source on the left side, your left side, to where it hits here, and then I shadowed the other side. And then I just put a little texture on the background. This would be your, I guess your seascape horizon. So then I put the boxes together, and this kind of creates a ground row, what we call a ground row in theater, in front of your psych. And I've come up with an idea for creating kind of a underwater effect using a silver tray. You can use a cookie sheet with Reynolds wrap, that'll work fine, a fan, and a flashlight. So I take my tray, put it on the ground right in front of here, pour some water in it. Just needs to cover the bottom a little bit. Turn my flashlight on before I turn off the lights. I'll turn my fan on. Creates a little ripple there. Let me turn off the lights. Okay, and that kind of gives you a little ripple under the water effect happening here.
Oh, I see it. Oh, I see it.
Yes.
Oh, now, that's cool.
Now, if you have it available, I have a blue piece of, it's just a cake pan that's blue glass. You can use any type of blue glass or anything that will take water through it, or light through it. And I shine it in there, and that gives it a little more of a blue tint to it, which is kind of nice. You don't necessarily have to have that, but it helps. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
That is so cool. I would not have thought of leaving the boxes like that. I've done some projects with cutting out cardboard, and I haven't thought to just leave the bottom of the box like that so that it just stands up on its own. That is such a great idea. I cannot wait to try that. So, okay, so we have the boxes for the set with a little bit higher in the back for the horizon line. I just cut some shapes and then spray paint the natural shapes. And then you did some light color on one side and darker on the other side for the light source and the shadow. And then the pan with water and a fan and a flashlight for the ripple effect. And then, of course, the sheets on the chairs. And you had the sheets on the chairs by, like, clips, right?
I used clamps on there, but you could use string or rubber bands or even probably some strong tape would work, some duct tape you can
cool. Use. That's really great. That's creative. Those are all things I think that we can do. Yeah, I think we have all of that stuff at home. And if we don't have, I don't know how much spray paint we have, but we have some just regular paint, I know. And then even crayons and stuff like that.
Crayons, markers, yeah, anything. You can use just about anything. Just try to go with the bright colors. That has, I think that gives it the best effect of kind of the underwater world.
That's great. That's great. Okay, Alicia.
All right, so I made 3 different sea animals in 3 different ways. The first one, we have a starfish, just made with popsicle sticks and yarn. And you just take the yarn, just start going over, under, all the way around it. And sometimes you'll want to flip and go the opposite direction to really fill out the middle. The next one I have is construction paper fish. And you can do this with any animal really, but you would fold it in half, cut some slits, and then just some more construction paper and you weave in and out, and use a glue stick to tape this down right here, and a googly eye, but you could use a button or anything, or just a marker. But my favorite is the sea turtle that I used a cardboard box and cut out a circle loom. So with a loom, you weave over, under, over, under. The important thing to know when you weave with a circle loom is that you have to have odd number amount of slits. So then you would take it around. And then you just weave in the circle. And then I use popsicle sticks that I colored with a marker to make green and a pipe cleaner to make the head. But you can actually weave on all different kinds of things. Here's another loom made out of cardboard. You don't have to make sea animals. You can make waves for your set. If you wanted to get really ambitious, you could make another loom out of a picture frame. You could either just string the yarn up and down to make your warp. The warp is the white up and down. And then the weft, which is the colors back and forth, I just use scraps of fabric.
Those are so cool. I'm trying to think. So if I don't have popsicle sticks, I can just like get some sticks from my backyard or something?
Absolutely, absolutely. You can actually make a loom out of sticks. Here's another one.
Of course you would just have that ready. I'm not sure I have a pipe cleaner, so I might have to get creative with the turtle head. We'll come up with something.
You could take some string and then tie it in a knot and make a little turtle head like that.
Oh.
The tail and then glue it down.
Yes, that's great. Okay, great. All right, so you did the paper weaving fish and the starfish and the turtle. Okay, I've got that. And it was an odd number of cuts on the round cardboard, right? Okay, I got it. All right, Lindsay.
Hi. We actually did costume pieces for 3 characters for Under the CTC. The first one is going to be modeled by my awesome assistant who has been helping me throughout this project. This is our octopus.
Yay!
His tentacles are swinging.
Oh yeah, I see it.
All right, stop swimming. We used just a piece of fabric. We made our own design on it with, here, come forward.
On both sides.
On all sides. We worked on it together. Then we made tentacles out of, oh, he's modeling. Then we made tentacles out of socks that we just stuffed with plastic bags or other socks, other pieces of fabric. We had a lot of stuffing things in here, but we like the plastic bags because they make a fun noise when you swish them around. All right, thank you. Then I'm going to show you our underwater explorer helmet that we've made. This is just a ski hat that we found. I cut a hole in it by doing a little cross hole, and I made it smaller than actually what the Tupperware is, and then pushed it down around so that the tension of it actually holds it in, and we don't even have to duct tape it or anything in there. It just holds in.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. And then our last piece that we're going to show you is our mermaid. And we did the top up here with just a t-shirt where I cut off the arms, I cut out the neck, and I cut the bottom.
It looks like you sewed right here, but on the inside, it's a safety pin holding it all together.
It's true. It's not sewing. It's just a trick.
With a little bead at
the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you see that bump.
Yeah. So that helps make our ruching effect here.
Right here.
A little.
This is the bead. I felt.
And then we did fringe on the bottom where we knotted it all together and put some beads on the bottom of this to make fun noise as you walk. And then our tail is actually a pair of pants. Here, move your head. That we have duct taped together. We cut out the inseam and duct taped it together. Then painted on top of our fins.
Where's the duct tape?
It's hidden. We hid the duct tape underneath with loops. And then down at the bottom, assistant, can you show our fins? We fringed the bottom for fins. And that also makes a nice wave effect when we walk and have fun. And we just use some plain crafting paint. You can use whatever kind of paint you have around. We used markers for the octopus. I would not recommend oil paints because they're expensive and take forever to dry. But other than that, use what you've got. You could also, instead of using a pair of pants, you could use a skirt and make it a little bit easier.
Here's the hidden tape.
There's the hidden tape. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Assistant.
I love it. I love it. The mermaid, I just went, ooh. I love fringe. I'm a child of the 80s, so fringe is all right with me. I'm not usually brave enough to wear it on my own, but I totally will in a costume. I love all three of these characters as ideas. And has Liam, your assistant, has he tried on the Explorer mask?
He did try on the Explorer mask. He might want to try it on again for us.
Which he doesn't have to, but I just wanted to say he was able to breathe just fine and everything and that.
He was. There's definitely a void right here where the air comes through, and on this side we have a recording of a costume fitting we've done where he put it on.
Cool.
He put it on.
And I would not have thought to like cut an X. I am not that experienced with it, so I would have just cut a hole and then struggled probably. So I will definitely remember that, to cut an X. That's not something I would have realized on my own.
Cutting an X is a lot easier.
Yay!
Cutting an X is a lot easier. You just want to make sure you don't cut all as long as you think. You can always cut more, but the tension of having it cut a little bit smaller than your piece helps you push it down and helps hold it in place without any extra tape or anything like that. It can be cut back out if you need to.
That's great. And I love that all three of these characters are so very different from each other. I think it gives a lot of opportunity for story ideas and what could be happening between these three characters for my family and I to play. And of course, I know you guys did three characters because you know that I have three folks in my family. There's myself and my son and my husband, not counting Linus. He's a family member, but he's not going to wear a costume. But of course, if somebody had more people that wanted to participate, more family members that they wanted to participate that are at home, they could just make another explorer or another mermaid of their own kind. That a family with more family members at home can just make more different colors of underwater explorers and different kinds of mermaids that can just show their own personality and get creative. These are all such great ideas, and I feel all very doable. They're going to challenge me, but they're going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to sharing them with my family. So thank you guys so much for all of your work on this and coming up with these ideas. And I'm going to go get my family so we can begin building our underwater world.